The woman walked west across the great prairie, following a desolate highway which neither rose nor fell nor turned for 300 miles. A straight line of pavement bisecting a vast frozen grassland. It took her most of the winter to cross. When the snow came, it draped the land in white and turned the stunted scrub trees into sparkling, brittle ice sculptures. The lack of color disoriented her, and black spots danced on the edge of her vision. She had troubled gray eyes, dull and restless, and when the sun rode high, its reflected radiance sometimes rendered them snowblind. She found a pair of polarized sunglasses in the glove box of a wrecked Altima. They helped a little. When it didn't snow, the sky was vast and blue and empty. When it did snow, it was hard and gray and all-knowing. Nobody plowed the highway that year, and when the drifts piled up past her thighs, she went down on all fours and dragged herself over the worst of it until the snot froze on her nose and her hands bled, and her malnourished arms trembled from the cold and the exertion. But she never gave a thought to stopping or turning back, or falling down in the snow and weeping guilty tears. She kept going. There was nothing else to do but keep going. She'd never been a particularly lovely woman, and now she knows she must look haggard, like a crusty old hermit woman stumbling along the interstate. She hadn't inherited the sultry eyes of her mother, nor the seductive curves of her sister, but she had gotten her mother's fair skin, and now that was red and cracked and ruined. Skin and bones and dirty hair. That was who she was now, and she didn't care. The tight muscles of her legs were in a state of perpetual wailing revolt. She felt their anger whenever she stood, and their jelly-like fatigue when she laid down to sleep. She sensed that her body had grown to hate her, and was maybe rooting for her to fall down and die in the snow, hissing at her to do it, begging it. But she wouldn't. Not now. Not until she'd finished her walk. Then maybe they would talk. She ate snow when she was thirsty, and when the hunger got bad enough to make waves of nausea ripple up her sternum, she would drift off the highway and rummage through deserted podunk towns of looted convenience stores and cowboy bars and rusty trailer homes on cinder-block feet. When she needed to sleep, she did it in empty cattle shacks or in the back seats of abandoned cars along the shoulder of I-90. One gray morning, hunger jabbed daggers in her gut, sharp enough to bring faint tears to her eyes. She ate from a cow carcass, a snow-covered lump she found sprawled behind a barbed wire fence. She tore strips from its flank and ate them raw, and was mildly ill afterwards. But it was enough to keep her on her feet another day, enough to keep walking. She barely saw anyone, and that was okay, too. She didn't want company. Wasn't sure she even remembered how to speak. She'd been a guest lecturer at the university one year, and she'd bored entire Army divisions of undergraduates on such gripping subjects as the biology of neoplasia and molecular medicine, and most notoriously, introductory biostatistics. Language had come easily enough then, but now the very thought of it made cold bumps rise on her forearms. What would she say? What was there left to say? Silence was her refuge, her weapon.